But first we meet Art Spiegelman, the creator of a groundbreaking graphic novel on the Holocaust, whose work is being showcased in Cologne.
Art Spiegelman is one of the greats of his field. For his magnum opus Maus, he's just received the prestigious Siegfried Unseld Prize. His acceptance speech was typically caustic.
In accord with the traditional rituals of this kind of ceremony, I'd also like to thank Adolf Hitler, an Austrian of a very different species than Mr. Seltz. It was Hitler, my collaborator, who made Maus, the work that no doubt catalyzed today's prize, possible.
Cologne's Museum Ludwig is currently hosting a retrospective of the artist's work. Comics is about more than just Maus. 64-year-old Spiegelman is a child of the underground comics movement of the late 1960s. His work is biting, lewd, and provocative. Before the international success of Maus, he eked out a living illustrating, among other things, bubblegum trading cards. The exhibition also shows how things changed for him after the publication of the graphic novel. Its surprise success catapulted Spiegelman out of the underground. And in 1992 came his crowning moment, a Pulitzer Prize for Maus, which was based on his Jewish parents' concentration camp experiences with mice as Jews and cats as Nazis.
I thought it was a joke because it was called a special Pulitzer that I got. So I immediately thought of the Special Olympics, and I thought it was a kind of way of saying that I couldn't compete in the regular Olympics.
Maus was translated into countless languages, including German. Former German Culture Secretary Michael Naumann, at the time head of Rowohlt Publishing House, remembers.
When Rowohlt published Maus, I have to say there was a sort of national shock about its contents. The idea that you can deal with the Holocaust, the Shoah, in comic book form.
Despite its international success, Maus still provokes discussion. So Spiegelman has written a companion volume, Meta-Maus, a detailed analysis of his work.
Maus is a comic about a father and son trying to understand each other. I think it's more directly that than it is about the Holocaust, you know.
Journalists and students still want answers to the same few questions. Why comics? Why mice? Why the Holocaust?
Meta-Maus is partly a guide to creating complex comics, and it also describes entertainingly the reactions to Maus. Poles depicted as pigs felt their national pride had been wounded, and cat lovers the world over erroneously pilloried Spiegelman as a cat hater.
No, I have a cat. It's great. My cat is a little annoyed with me for the metaphor I used in my book, but we're still working it out. I think we're friends.
Meta-Maus conclusively answers all questions about Maus, and journalists who persist in asking anyway get this answer.
I'm going to keep it really short, which is you for asking the question. I think that it was said at the beginning that I did an entire book over the past few years called Meta-Maus. I think it answers it very succinctly, but I can't turn that into a soundbite.
Spiegelman is more forthcoming when treated as a cartoonist who has created much more than just Maus.
This whole area of the show is devoted to these comics on comics, thinking about my medium. This is, for me, a very emblematic and important image, which is called The Bastard Offspring of Art and Commerce Murder Their Parents and Go Off on a Sunday Outing. It's a lithograph on stone. Here's art. Here's commerce, and here are the bastard offspring of art and commerce, American comics.
The swastika on the cover of Maus is a symbol that's forbidden in Germany. Spiegelman was given special permission to use it anyway. But that also had unexpected side effects.
Then the unintended consequence was I saw a documentary about skinhead Nazis in, I think they were in Hamburg, and one of them had in his room the Maus poster from a bookshop because it was the only swastika he could find.
Spiegelman confronts even bitter moments with humor in the spirit of Mad Magazine's Alfred E. Newman. His work is still marked by a touch of anarchy, a tendency to debunk and deflate popular beliefs. And one question remains. How much of a hippie is Art Spiegelman?
That's a good question, because I think we'll find out on the autopsy table that there's still a rather large amount.
Success hasn't changed Art Spiegelman, though now widespread smoking bans have forced the chain smoker to resort frequently to e-cigarettes.